Would you look at that golden brown, beautiful fried chicken? Well, it ain't hard to do. Let's go ahead and get it done. We're going to take a whole chicken, get it cut up, seasoned up, and fried up. First things first, you want to go ahead and clean your chicken. Get on the board and get it turned over. We're going to take some shears and we're going to cut that backbone out. Make sure your shears are fairly sharp. You can use a knife, but it is easier just to have some kitchen shears, and you don't have to have expensive ones. I got these, I believe, at Walmart for a couple bucks. So go ahead and cut that backbone out. Get all that extra fat and all that stuff out of there real quick. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead on and get your knife. Make sure your knife is sharp. That's key here. One, it's going to make it easier to cut through the chicken, but two, so you don't cut yourself. You're going to flip it and then you're going to cut through that breastbone. Now you have two pieces, two sides, and we're just going to break down each side one at a time. So now we're going to cut our thigh and leg off, or your leg quarter off. Simple to do. You can almost pull it off. You just, you'll feel the joint and you just cut right through the joint. So it's simple to do, and go ahead and cut that off. Now we got our leg quarters, and then we've got our breast quarters, our breast and wing. Go ahead and cut that wing out. Now, when you cut your wing out, you can cut off kind of as big as much of the head as you want, or as small. If you go to Church's Chicken, that's how you wind up with those humongous chicken wings, because when they cut the wing off the breast, they cut a large portion of the breast off, and then you'll have a smaller breast but a huge wing at Church's. But normally you can feel the joint within that breast as well, and you can just put your knife in there and go ahead and cut that off. Simple like that, not hard at all. Same thing with the thigh and the leg. You just feel the joint, open it up right where you feel that crease. Go ahead and put your knife in there and you'll go right through that joint with no issues whatsoever. Guys, make sure you share this video out. Hit that thumbs up button for me, please. I'd truly appreciate it. Now here on this particular chicken, these breasts are actually really big. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these breasts. I'm going to break them down and cut them into thirds. This is an easy way to expand the amount of meat that you have in a meal. Normally you cut up your chicken, you got 8 pieces. But the way we're going to do it, we're going to actually wind up with 12 pieces of chicken. I'm going to cut these breasts into thirds. So, it increase the amount of chicken you got for your family. If you have a bigger family, you don't necessarily have to cook 2 chickens. You can actually get by with just the one if you do it this way. And the breast pieces will be big enough to where everybody has a nice sized portion when you're done. So I'll just take the tail end of that breast off, and then we're going to cut the head part, or the bigger part, down the middle. So now we turn that breast into 3 nice sized pieces of chicken. And we're just going to do the exact same thing with the other breast. Then we'll be ready to season it up. Now I've already washed my chicken, but I'm going to go ahead and wash it again since I had it all cut up. We're going to get some of those guts and things off of there and get it all washed up real good. And we're going to go ahead and put it in a bowl, and we're going to start seasoning it up. So stick by, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our chicken all cleaned up, and let's go get it seasoned up. We're going to use some seasoned salt. This is Morton Season All. You can use Lowry's or whatever you got, but pretty liberal with your seasoned salt. We're going to use some granulated garlic. We're going to use some black pepper, and we're going to use some granulated onion. Fried chicken, just like the meatloaf video, is a kiss dish in my opinion. A keep it simple, stupid. You don't have to do all kinds of extra stuff to it. Just make sure you season your chicken really well. That's the biggest thing. So you season your chicken well, let it marinate a little bit for an hour or so. Not even quite an hour. You could let it marinate for about 30 minutes. And then 2, you're going to season up your breading. But make sure you get that chicken seasoned up real well. That's key. So we got our seasoning on it. We're going to mix it all around. Then we're going to go ahead on and hit it a second time just to make sure that we got our seasoning incorporated real well. Now, if you just season it to taste, you have a baseline of how your seasoning is going to be if you make chicken a lot. I don't do a lot of measurements, so I can't put measurements in here for you. But if I was to guesstimate, I would say I put about a tablespoon and a half of seasoned salt, and about a tablespoon of your garlic, a tablespoon of your onion, and probably a tablespoon of your black pepper. Maybe not quite. So, but season it to taste. That's key. As long as you season it up well, you'll be good to go. Another mix. And what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the refrigerator and let it sit up for about 35 or 45 minutes. just to let those seasonings and everything marry real well and get inside that chicken. We don't want no bland chicken. You know, chicken is good when you don't need hot sauce. All right, got it all done. Into the refrigerator it's going. All right, we've got the oil heated up to about 375 degrees. You know, when you drop your chicken in, it's gonna go down a little bit. So about 375 would be good. This flour, I'll just put the same seasonings that I put in the chicken on the flour, or in the flour, but not quite as heavy. And then we're deep frying our chicken today. Deep frying is a lot easier than pan frying, in my opinion, especially if you're a novice at frying foods. This way you can make sure that you get your chicken fully submerged in the oil and it cooks evenly. When you're pan frying, you have to make sure that, you know, you don't burn one side or you undercook it. So to me, it's just a little bit easier, especially if you're new, just to deep fry your fried chicken. All right, we've had this chicken in the grease now for about 10 minutes or so, and you can see how it's coming along. It's nice and golden brown, really, really beautiful, but it's got a little bit of ways to go. And I know they always say, you know, when the chicken is done, it will begin to float. That's partially true, but it's going to float before it's done as well. So you don't want to have your chicken underdone. If you have a meat thermometer, you know, you can use that as well to make sure your chicken, all it takes is 165, but when I fry, I like to go up to about 180 degrees, make sure everything is done. But just make sure you cook it a good enough time to where it's done. I cooked this chicken all together. Each batch went for about 20 minutes total. You know, your thighs and your breasts generally take a little bit longer, but make sure you cook it till it's done. So we've got it all looking good, golden brown. Look how beautiful that chicken is. Nice and golden brown, crispy skin, not overdone. And that's the good thing about deep frying. You know, I've begun to use my air fryer quite a bit, but there are just some things the air fryer cannot replicate. And that's to me, a good deep fried piece of chicken. The flavor is just different. Don't do it often, but sometimes I just need it in my life. We're gonna go ahead and get these pieces pulled. That's this thigh right here. Look at that. Slap that in between a couple pieces of white bread with some hot sauce and you good to go. But like I said, this chicken is seasoned so well, you don't even need the hot sauce, just the white bread. We're gonna go down with our second batch, and it's the same principle. Don't overcrowd your oil. That way you don't want to bring the temperature down of your oil super low. Otherwise your chicken will wind up real greasy and almost boiling for a little while. You want it to be frying as soon as that chicken hits the oil. All right, we're getting finished up, and again, anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes, depending on the piece. Again, you can see how pretty that wing is. All this chicken turned out great. And again, I recommend deep frying chicken. If you're new to frying chicken, it's just a little easier to me. Now, you can do pan fry, but again, you stand the risk of your oil getting too hot or getting too low, or you just maybe burning it or undercooking it. So I would try my hand at deep frying first, and then you can move on to this regular pan frying. All right, guys, it's all done. Look at that chicken. Turned out excellent. We smashed. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I truly appreciate you guys. God bless.